Hmm.
How's everyone doing? It's very quiet.
Good. Oh my God.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
We're going to get started in about 2 minutes.
Good morning.
No.
Righty, all righty. We're gonna get started here in a couple of seconds. Appreciate everybody zooming out or zooming in. Let's see. Everybody's waving. I love that. I love the grid view. All about the grid view. I'm pretty sure that the KW server just kind of pooped out on us there for a minute. I think it's back, right, Kristen?
Hold on. Oh, sorry, I thought it was muted. I think it was Google because I couldn't search on Google and my email wasn't working. So I thought it was just command, but I think it was altogether Google.
Yeah, Google and Gmail are having a massive problem right now.
Yeah, it's crazy. Good old technology. It's probably because everybody's on them. I mean,
Yeah, it's probably being, man, I wish I had stock in Zoom right now.
the last I checked, it was up like 60 or 70%.
Joseph, why do I see a J. Clo and you?
I have my phone on just because our internet's a little weird. So I have my phone on as a backup if I have to jump over to that.
Ah, okay.
I'm prepared.
Cool.
Yes, you are.
All right. I appreciate everybody coming out. We have a great day planned. We are going to talk about some of the new announcements. We're going to talk about Market Center announcements. We're also going to talk about some of the announcements from the standpoint of CTAR. So we're definitely going to get to that. And then we're going to talk about something that I picked up from Coaching Skills Camp. People like Maggie or Tiffany or Joseph who have gone in the past. I'm not sure who else have gone, who's gone to Coaching Skills Camp. That class is no longer offered. However, they have a fascinating piece on there about how to look at issues and how to look at different events that happen to us. And we're going to kind of talk about that a little bit. And it's going to be a really open dialogue. And I'm excited for it. So I'm going to share my screen. Cool. Oop. So, let's see. Bear with me. I too am learning technology.
Present at the top right.
In file.
No, at your top right corner over
Oh.
by here.
This thing's over here. Sorry.
There you go.
All right. How we looking? Everybody see that? Awesome. All right. As we know, I want to start with our Market Center vision. We believe in creating an authentic environment built on the foundation of productivity and collaboration. This inspires our people to achieve their business goals, design their legacy worth leaving. And I was thinking about this earlier this morning. There is no better time for this to continue to shine in the now virtual walls of our Market Center. I want to give a huge shout out to Kristen and Adrian and Joseph and Tiffany and the ALC in helping create and the continuity in our environment, even though we moved it virtually. It was really, and those that were behind closed doors with me knew that a very, very important piece to this puzzle was minimizing disruption and creating and continuing the continuity of an authentic environment built on the foundation of productivity and collaboration. It was so, so important to me as we made this shift 2 weeks ago. I was just reminded that we made this shift 2 weeks into this virtual realm and this virtual environment. And it was just so important. And they have done an amazing job at keeping that authentic environment and productivity and collaboration in moving everything virtual. So I just wanted to give them a hand and give them a shout out. So as we move forward, let me see how, oh, there we go. We all know how this is going to go. Let's fill some buckets. Let's talk about gratitude. There is no better time right now than to talk about gratitude, especially with everything going on in our world. Who's starting?
I'd like to start. I want to share gratitude with Maggie. I know that she's been on probably like a gajillion Zooms a day with her team and with leadership and everybody. But she took the time to work with Michael and I to make sure that we could deliver really strong 6 personal perspectives this week for you guys. So wanted to say thank you to Maggie for that.
I love it. And by the way, thank you to Maggie. And Winnie, you crushed it this morning. You articulated that the message of being learning based at a really, really high level. You are learning based, and it was awesome to see. What else?
I'll jump in. So definitely I want to mirror what Vince said as far as the leadership team, and then a couple of specifics. The ALC for doing the perspectives, that's just a great thing to have on that call. And I agree, Winnie, you did crush it today. That was awesome. And then Tiffany and Vince specifically, we spent an hour and a half, close to 2 hours, hour and a half. Yesterday, we literally went through every single budget line item within our financials, and we were able to cut about an additional 10% without any kind of services or anything. And by we really mean Tiffany. I mean, she's the one who found it all. Yeah. But it just, it was a fun project. It was a fun project.
Who else? Still, I saw your hand up. I just switched from sharing my screen so that I could see everybody's face in the grid. But Stella, you have something?
So I just wanted to say thank you to, I think Winnie and Gamewell have been awesome resources for me this week when I had just Trad. Like we've not being in the office together, we're not able to kind of pop in and ask each other questions. And I'm just grateful for people picking up their phone so I can say, what would you do in this instance? Because the reach back is really, really something I value here.
I love that. Yeah, and that's important. That's what the daily Zooms are for. That's what things like this are for. The Facebook group, that's what that's for. So that environment is important. I love that. That's great.
I want to shout out to Jenna Ryan. My understanding is, she literally passed her test, I want to say 2 or 3 weeks ago, and she's already got her mom's condo under contract. So that's super exciting.
That is awesome.
I think she's on here somewhere, but if not, make sure y'all tell her I pumped her up.
Absolutely.
Yes, I'm here. Thank you, Lynn.
Hey, girl.
If I remember correctly, I think I saw a slide later, so I won't ruin the surprise. I just did. But way to go, Jenna. Who else? Now's the time.
Well, I'll say again, just to the staff, obviously I know all that Joseph's doing because he's on the phone with y'all a lot. I'm actually the girl who keeps trying to pester him to get off the phone and pay attention to me because I'm bored. But
you can have it.
I just appreciate y'all leading by example yesterday with, cutting expenses. Joseph and I are doing that also personally and just different things that we can do. So I just appreciate the staff right now, Tiffany, everyone for all that you're doing. Just reacting quickly to things that we need. So that's huge right now.
I love it. Thank you, Lynn. Jennifer, I see your hand up there.
Yes, I just wanted to take this opportunity, try to see the glass half full. Zoom is the best thing since sliced bread. Maybe they'll make a commercial out of that. So what I am praying is that all this training and knowledge and time that God has given me, maybe in July, I will really, really be able to promote my business. But I just really wanted to say thank everybody for not only a team, but a family. I think it was Tuesday, whenever Joseph ended our meeting in prayer. That speaks a lot to our character as an organization, and I'm glad to be part of it.
I love it. Thank you so much. We are lucky to be in business with you. Anybody
I
else?
have another one. This is a shout out to Vince and Joseph. I know you guys have also been on Zoom like a million times a day, but every single, even the classes Vince has been on and Joseph has been able to pop on, even like existing stuff that they probably know back, forth, left, and right, that they've just been on every single thing, and having, once again, that continuity of having our leadership and not just like, you know, maybe an ALC member, but our team leader and our OP and broker, like on a lot of these calls is really cool. I'm like, ooh, we're all big deals. So thank you guys for putting the time in.
Thank you. Appreciate that. And you guys are big deals. I mean, we are truly humbled by the opportunity to continue to lead and to continue to collaborate with each and every one of you. So I appreciate that, Winnie. Anybody else?
I just want to say thank you to you all for going above and beyond. I'm with another market center and they're doing nothing like what you guys are doing here. So I hope people understand that this isn't the normal. And I've done more training in the last week and a half than I have probably in the whole 5 years I've been in real estate. And it's pretty awesome that you guys go above and beyond to do that for us during this time.
I love it. That is awesome to hear. That is all. And that's a testament to Tiffany and to the leadership team. So that is awesome. Wendy, you had something too. Thanks, Jessica.
Yes. So this is kind of a shout out to my husband, but you guys are doing exactly what he made the point. The other day I was just feeling super paralyzed, and I know probably we've all had little times of that, if not some more than others. And I just said, I don't know what to do. I just feel like I can't do anything because I can't do everything. And he's like, just remember, you can do things now that maybe you can't make a sale right this second, but in 8 months from now, if you set yourself up now, that's when all this is going to come forward for you. And I know that some people have a pipeline that's working for them right now, and that's awesome. I did the foolish thing and slowed everything way down when we bought our house so that I would have time to move in and all this kind of stuff. And so it's a little bit of a struggle for me right now to kind of get that moving forward again. But just knowing that you can put in work now and you can see results, but you shouldn't just stop where you are and give up.
I love that. I think you are so right, Wendy, and I really appreciate that kind of aha and that gratitude there. You're right. Right now is not necessarily, there are people that are closing things out. Like I have written on my wall right here, it says accelerate, pipeline, and database, right? And there are people that are closing deals right now. Yet there are also people that are just using this time to reach out and show that they care. And that, Wendy, will pay off and just pay off massively in the future, because 80% of individuals aren't calling their people, aren't reaching out and saying, how are you doing, right? Do you need anything? It's not necessarily about the sale right now. Everything is paused, right? It's about, I care for you. What can I help you with? And if you need anything, please reach out. I'm thinking of you, right? And I think nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. I love that. Anything else?
I think Jenna has her hand raised.
Go ahead. Thank you.
I do. I should have said earlier, I just want to thank my coaches so much because I couldn't have done any of this without them. So thanks, Adrian and Krista and Kristen too.
I love it. This is so awesome. I love this. I absolutely love this. Anybody else? Awesome. So I'm going to share my screen. Thank you all for that. I absolutely love gratitude. I think, what the heck? Give me a second here. Here we are. That was awesome. So congratulations, Will Garcia. You had your first closing through all this craziness. So congratulations to Will. Also, April and Jenna both took their first listings with us. So congratulations to both of you. Through all this turmoil, you're still putting things on the market, and I love it. Congratulations to both of you. All right. PC, I'm going to pass this over. I'm not going to pass the screen, but I'm going to pass over the conversation to our amazing productivity coach, Adrian. Give us a little bit of insight into what's going on, what we can expect.
Guys, I always save my gratitude for when I have to start talking, and I am so grateful to be a part of this group of individuals. We have taken, as a market center, more than 24 listings this month, because there are a handful that aren't live yet. 10 of those alone, actually 12 now that I think about it, came from PC. And so our agents, even our newest agents, are out there and working and finding opportunities. And in a time when we are all so disconnected and struggling, and there's a lot of fear and concern, you guys are really stepping up to grow big businesses and connect with each other. And it's amazing to see that and to feel that forward movement and that forward momentum when it feels a lot of times like the rest of the world is freezing. So I know that there is a lot of overwhelm, and I know that there are a lot of concerns about what's going to happen next, but I promise you guys, keep doing the things you're doing and keep rolling, and everything is going to be fine. It is unbelievable to see how much work is going in, and I'm so proud. We've closed enough deals to net almost $90,000 in GCI this month. So it just as a PC program. And it's been just an extraordinary situation to watch. Brand new agents diving into all the systems, diving into all the tech. Jenna and Wayne, we are so proud of you. Will having his first closing, Jenna writing her first contract. So many people taking listings, Jenna and April taking their first listings. I think Sarah took her first listing with us as well, and she's just been killing that from a digital marketing standpoint, and that's been really impressive. Krista picked up 2 listings this week while also launching transaction coaching in the middle of a really challenging situation, and just picking up and running with the virtual opportunities. So watching everyone really get it.
Uh-oh, the beauty of Zoom. Did you freeze there?
Adrian, I think we lost you.
Sounds like they just locked up James Island or John's Island, yeah.
All right, let's give her a second here.
She's logging off and logging back on.
Oh, there she is. Keep on going.
Sorry guys, I don't know where you lost me.
So you were talking about some of the, Krista, she wants transaction coordination or transaction coaching, some amazing things going on there. What else?
Damn it.
Yeah, turn off your video. Sometimes that works. All right, she'll put it in the chat. What I will also kind of go and piggyback on, because I don't know what else she was going to mention, and I'm sure she'll put it all in the chat for us. And Tiffany, could you just help me there in reading the chat? I'm going to move forward. One of the really big pieces to the puzzle is a new Ignite. I'm going to talk to this the best I can. And even though I was just on an amazing call yesterday that Adrian led, the new Ignite, it's Ignite 2.0. There's 2 sections to it. It's Spark and Elementals. It starts next Monday at 9 a.m. and goes, and it's 3 hours. So it'll go from 9 to 12. It's every day, a little different than the last Ignite or the first Ignite. If you've taken Ignite in the past, I would absolutely encourage you to get into this Ignite and take it again, because it's very different from the standpoint of much more activity heavy. Some of the content is, or most of the content is different. It's very, very database heavy. How do I contact? How do I talk to and communicate to my database? There are 2 weeks of Spark classes, and then there are 2 weeks of elemental classes. The way that I look at it is the Spark classes a little bit more elementary. It's all about building foundation, where the elemental classes are all about kind of building on top of that foundation, and goes a little bit more in depth into how to get business out of our database, things of that nature. So on Monday at 9 a.m., You'll get Zoom links, all that good stuff. Dive into it. I believe Adrian will be teaching Ignite number 1, and that's at 9 a.m. On Tuesday, you've got my amazing smiling face talking about lead generation, and then it goes on from there. You've got amazing instructors. You've got the ALC. You've got Winnie, Greg, Maggie, Joseph's teaching, Tiffany's teaching. We have some amazing instructors. I think Jay may be teaching. It's going to be exciting. So dive into that and get more information, because I don't know it all. What's coming up? T.
You did a great job selling that, though, I will say.
Oh, great. Thanks.
Well done.
I just kind of ad-lib. Just a normal day for me.
Just a normal day. All right, so I'll take over the what's coming up. So today we have the Finance Committee meeting right after this, so come join that. Also at 3:30, Lynn is going to be hosting a Bible study. Lynn, do you want to say anything on that real quick?
Yeah, thank you. It's more of a book study, not because it's not a Bible study, but I just want it to be where I found a book I feel that's going to have encouragement of, the theme is when you're kind of stuck or trapped or in the middle of something, and it kind of came up on you surprisingly. So I felt like the theme was really appropriate for right now, and it's going to follow the story of Joseph. Ironically, I did not choose that on purpose, I promise. But if you want to just cue in and listen, what I'm doing is I'm going through it with, like I said on my email, both a work hat and a life hat on. So wherever your faith stands, or if you're scripture-based or not, if you're God-based or not, I think there's some principles that I'm pulling some principles out of the text that's going to apply to, really all walks of life and all walks of belief systems, because we need encouragement right now. And my personal source for that is my faith, but that doesn't mean you have to have that faith to be a part of it. I'm going to make it as relevant as possible, give you some questions and some challenges to then take home to your family on how to, pivot, so to speak, pivot some of what we're feeling into something more positive. So I just want to make sure I don't want it to be intimidating or that you have to do a lot of homework. The first one, I'm just going to feel it out and see what people are kind of in the mood for and what they want. And then hopefully do it every week. I'm going to go keep finding places of encouragement that don't have, it's not going to be, Bible beating or anything like that. It's just going to be easygoing and encouraging. So I just want y'all to tune in if you need a little something other than work for a period of time.
I love that.
That's awesome. Vince, did you stop sharing your screen?
I have no idea what just happened. Bear with me.
Let's go through your wedding.
Thank you, Wynn. And by the way, God family business, right?
Love
I mean, it's absolutely awesome. And Greg, real quick, I'm sorry, Tiffany. Greg, do you want to mention finance committees at 1 today?
Finance committees are, thanks, Vince. Finance committees at 1 o'clock today. We're going to be talking about not only how to save for family reunion, which is a year ahead of us, but we've got to start doing that now. We're also going to talk about what we can do as a group during this time and what management ownership is helping us with also. So quick meeting, half an hour tops. Just jump in. I'll put a Zoom up and we'll go from there.
I love it. It's already on the Zoom Google Sheet. So
okay, great, super.
Yeah, thank you, T.
All right, next week. Help me out. There we go. Monday, like we said, we're starting Ignite. So that's going to be what we're focusing on. So even if you just come and check it out, it's definitely going to be a cool new experience for anybody to get on. It's from 9 to 12. So that's our only thing, as it's a new thing we're starting out with the Market Center. So come on out. We'll still have our check-in at 8:45 right before then and our 12 after that. So just know daily check-ins will still be happening twice a day around this whole thing. Tuesday, we're Ignite again. We're also going to be doing campaigns with Vince at 1. So he wants to teach that class again. Slight change in the last.
And he's dial in with me.
Yeah, that'd be great. And then slight change in the last 30 minutes happened. So PC is actually going to, instead of doing an advanced and PC for 2 hours, we're just going to do one at 2 o'clock. And we're going to do that moving forward just to lessen the calls that people are on and to help everyone's time. So just know PC accountability at 3 is no longer, we're just going to do everybody at 2. Wednesday, we have coffee with cappers at 7:30 in the morning. So get your favorite coffee mug if you're in the top 20% and come on out at 7:30 in the morning and just Zoom in and meet with the others. I know they had a good one earlier this week, so that was a good time. So that's going to be next week. Ignite is going to happen on Wednesday as well. Plus Michael and the social committee. I think, Michael, if you're on here, if you want to talk to it, you totally can. We're going to be doing a virtual happy hour. So grab you a glass of wine, grab you your favorite drink, grab you a soda if that's your take, and come meet us at 3:30 to not talk about business and just to chat and hang out. Michael, are you on there? Want to say anything more? No. Okay, we'll keep moving. So Thursday, Ignite, 9 to 12. We're going to throw a pop-up class there at 1 p.m. I just don't know what it is. So if you have any ideas on what you want to learn about, just shoot them in the chat, and we'd love to take some ideas on what we can throw in on the calendar on Thursday. And then book study at 3:30 on Thursday as well. And then Friday we have Ignite, and we're going to talk about it a little bit tomorrow, but we are going to do the state of the company, which is going to still happen tomorrow at 11, but next week it's going to be shifted down till 12 o'clock so that Ignite can finish out, as well as we have other calls, obviously, we have to be on. So tomorrow, we forgot to put that in there, tomorrow the state of a company will be at 11 a.m. like it was last week. Anything after that?
And hold on. And the idea of the state of the company, I know that we have the team meeting today. We also have the team meeting in 2 weeks. The idea of the state of the company is candid conversation between your leadership group. So Tiffany will be facilitating it, just like last week, and Joseph and I will be having conversation. There's a pretty good possibility that we start to talk about what does it look like to cut expenses? What are the questions that we ask ourselves when we're looking at expenses of a business, and go into detail a little bit more about what are we looking at. Go ahead.
I have one more too. I forgot to put on the list, and that's totally my fault. On Monday, we actually do have a class in the afternoon. Maggie's going to be doing the wealth building through appointments. And so she's going to be changing that up to kind of same with our virtual world, since we can't necessarily go on physical appointments, but the principles are still the same. So we are, and it's a shift is it a shift tactic, or it's either MREA or shift? It's important regardless. And so wealth building through appointments is going to be happening from 12 to 2 on Monday. It might shift to 12:15 for our daily call, but that's coming out there too. You'll see that in the email, in the recap email, and the email that goes out tomorrow.
Yeah. And I know that there's a lot, right? And that's our intention. Our intention is not for you to be on everything. The big things, team meeting, Zoom, daily Zooms, they're great from a motivational standpoint. And then the state of the company. And then dial into what you need. If you're looking for new ways to generate business from the standpoint of Facebook ads and social media ads, come join us at Campaigns at 1 tomorrow. If you're looking to understand the economic model at a higher level and then how to shift to this virtual world, go sit with Maggie on Monday and learn at 12:30 how to continue to push your business forward in this crazy market that we found ourselves in. So dial into what you want. Naturally, I'm going to dial into the happy hour at 3:30 for sure. But so dial into what you need in your business. And if you need help identifying that, talk to Tiffany, talk to me, Joseph, Kristen, and Adrian. Talk to us, and we can help you. I love that, though. Thanks, team. Keep on going.
Yep. Yeah. So then, Betsy, you have something to say real quick?
I was just going to say, you're right. It is a lot. And if you're lead generating and trying to stay, not even lead generating, that's not what I'm doing these days. If you're reaching out to all your people, everybody, takes a lot of time. Yesterday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I just hit the wall. Nothing. I couldn't see, I couldn't think. I had to stop the emails and the phone calls and the handwritten notes and everything. And all I could hear in my brain was Flanagan, who said, and I think it was yesterday, he said that do your 4 hours, and then at 1 o'clock he was going to go out and take a walk. And I thought, I'm going to get in my car and drop that top and crank up those tunes and go for a drive. Came home, took a bath, went to bed. It was the best thing I could have done.
You're so right, B. Listen to yourself, right? Work hard, double down. Sure, we're saying double down on lead gen, which is really just talking to your people and making sure they're doing well. Yet we're not saying don't take care of yourself. Pay attention to your mind, pay attention to what your body and your mind needs, and take care of yourself. We got to get out and walk. We have to re-energize, right? And I love what you're saying. And Flanagan was a testament to it yesterday. He said, look, I'm just about done, and I'm taking the afternoon off, and I'm going to double down in the morning. I'm going for a walk. So same with you, B. So I love it.
I love it. That's cool. All right, so this is out in May, and so right now we're in the state of we don't actually know what's happening with this. However, we still wanted to bring this to your attention. In May, we have Red Day on May 7th, whatever Thursday that is, and that Saturday, which I believe is the 9th, is Red Day and Dragon Boat. Just know your culture committee is talking about that, so we'd love to have people join that committee if they have ideas, because even if we're still kind of stuck in this little virtual world, we want to figure out ways to be creative of donations, giving back, even if it's all of us virtually going out and taking a walk for water or something, raising money. And so just know these different things are happening, and we're still planning on doing them. At least Red Day. I'm not sure about Dragon Boat. That's kind of up to them to decide. But we have them on our radar, and we would love to have any input at the culture committee for different creative things we can do to give back to our community, even in this time of being virtual. So,
yeah, I love that. And just look, everything is fluid right now, and these were on the calendar, and we know it. But you'll continue to get more information about this, and for those of you that remember Bob Ramella, good old Bobo, the Dragon Boat Day is in his memory. We have Bob's Brigade. So you'll get more information about this and this event as well as Red Day. Yet right now we just wanted to put it out there, but it's kind of on the back burner as we focus on today. Good news. We are, as was announced at the State of the Company address last Friday, and again, dial in tomorrow at 11, the monthly dues, your amazing investor group decided, you know what, we get it. We understand what's going on. We have the means to help. Monthly dues have been reduced by 50%. So instead of the $60, it'll be $30 next month. That starts in April. As many of you know, MLS dues, because of your amazing OP and the conversations he was having at a CTAR level, and we're going to get to CTAR in a second, he was able to help with reduce the MLS dues by 50% last month, or rather in March, and that was adjusted on your monthly bill this month by Tiffany. So know that this is happening in April. And we're just going to stay super fluid. Now, and I know a couple of people took advantage of this last month, and we thank them for it. If you feel that you have the means and the desire to pay your normal $60 or to pay your desk fee if you have a desk in the office, that money is not going to the Market Center. You can still pay it, communicate with Tiffany on that, and that's going to our Helping Agents Fund so that the Market Center and our culture committee and finance committee can help those in need at a higher level. So if you still want to pay your normal $60 and you have the means for it and the desire for it, let Tiffany know, and also know that the Market Center is not taking that money. We're putting it into a fund for Agents Helping Agents and for our people. And for the people that did take advantage of that last month, I'm not going to say your names, but thank you. Thank you. All right. Our amazing Joseph, I'm going to let you talk to this amazing legislative update from CTAR yesterday that many of you may have seen come out. And we can field any questions that we have.
Yeah, so I'm sure all of you saw this email. If you did not, CTAR basically sent out the update of their the legislative committee's take on the city of Charleston's announcement yesterday. So their take is, and I don't disagree with them, is obviously the businesses that were named, the city of Charleston is now saying that, or is not saying that real estate is an essential service. So I want to talk briefly, and we'll keep you updated on this. This is an incredibly fluid situation. First of all, it only pertains to the city of Charleston. This is not, that being said, we can almost guarantee that the surrounding mayors are probably going to follow in the footsteps, though Sumi has already said that he does not plan on doing anything unless the governor orders it. So what that means for us is technically if you live in the city of Charleston or you have business in the city of Charleston, you cannot go on showings right now, hold open houses. Closings can still happen. Closings are actually a legal service. So any pending business that you have, this does not affect. That will still go through. Where you will have to maybe call an audible a little bit would be as if you do have any listings in the city of Charleston that photography is not covered as an essential business. So, you may have to either get your seller to take some temporarily or, again, this is for 14 days. So we're just going to have to play that by ear. I do know that there are a lot of boots on the ground right now trying to get it clarified from the city's standpoint so that real estate can still carry on. I'm confident that that will happen only because every other municipality, both local and statewide, has worked with the association. I know that the state association, if the governor does come out and issue anything, that he is a fan of the realtors, and he will probably, and does agree. That's what I've heard. I know that the SCR, the South Carolina Realtors Association, has been in direct contact with the governor's office on that. North Carolina, they were doing the same thing when it was shut down. There are certain counties that are acting a little differently, but for the most part, they were considered an essential business. So that's where we stand right now. Again, this is only for the city of Charleston. This does technically mean that the office would not, we would not be able to go into the office right now unless it were for a closing, which obviously you'd be going to Butler Colleges for that. As the agent though, technically you don't need to be there at the closing. So you would not be quote unquote covered just because it's a legal service, because you're not a fiduciary responsibility to that actual part of the process of the closing. So again, just for City of Charleston, so if you do have, for instance, Butler College, if it is important for you to be at closing and your clients want you there, I'm sure that they'd be more than happy to move that closing to Mount Pleasant or the North Charleston location or their North location.
Let's open it up for questions. Who's got questions?
Greg, did you just say something about James Island and Johns Island?
No, I didn't. I apologize. I was just cracking on Adrian there a little bit.
Okay, great. Thank you. Oh, and I do have a question. Are you, like, because James Island is so, like, half of it's in the city and it's like one street over. Are you allowed to, like, drive through that area to get to another area? Like, what is that like?
That is a good question. I guess we'd have to look into that.
I didn't see any roadblocks today, so
Yeah.
I would say you probably could. And as far as I talked to Ryan about this. If they have a check upstairs that's mine, I think I'm going to the closing. So check with Ryan.
Right. We are also, along those lines, we are putting into place the ability to do direct wiring from the attorney's office. We should have an answer to that in the next, I'm not going to give you a deadline, as soon as we can. And that will obviously help with that situation, because if it does go to where, hey, they continue to quote unquote lock down, it's just another opportunity for you.
I got an email from the K Hovnanian group. I have a closing with them in, I think, April like 13th or 14th. And they said that Berkeley was probably going to follow suit. So they're like only allowing 3 people to do walkthroughs, the 2 buyers, if there are 2 buyers, and the builder. The final walkthroughs, this is new construction. So, just reach out to anyone involved with any transactions you have, because that's really all you can do. And then react accordingly, or be present accordingly, or be available accordingly, but don't push the envelope. Just wait for, instructions is my advice.
Hey, if I can add, Charleston Police has no intention of like pulling people over randomly or setting up any roadblocks. Their only intention is if there's a gathering of people, they will break that up.
Yeah, practice social distancing for sure. And
Yeah, it was.
And appreciate the severity of the situation. And like I've been saying, and like we've been saying a lot, is we have to adapt, right? Minimize this disruption, adapt, and know that we're working for our clients in the best interest of our clients. And this stuff is going to be fluid. Things are going to come out, and we're going to have to adapt and figure it out. So, and that's what these forums are for.
Yeah. And one last thing, what Lynn said kind of remind me, go ahead and be proactive on a lot of these. If you've got upcoming closings and stuff like that, I mean, obviously you're only limited on what the clients will do, but do walkthroughs early, schedule all those ahead of time, move up your closings if you can, get everything to get done sooner. Just, it does make it easier and prepare a little bit better for it.
And also ask for virtual walkthroughs. So even as you are still responsible for that home prior to the buyer releasing their funds as a buyer's agent. So ask the seller's agent to make sure that some kind of virtual tour is done. Even if they just go and film the first floor, because remember, your walkthrough is going to make sure, no pipes have burst, nothing has happened that renders the house compromised before they purchase it. So just a quick video of, make sure that there's nothing wrong with the floors, that everything's good, is quick and easy to do. So definitely push for that, because you still need to be on top of your game as an advocate for your buyers.
I love that. It's good advice. Anything else?
I'll say one more thing. Sorry. I guess Lynn and I should have sat together. So also keep in mind
too much.
Too much to it. If your buyers are nervous, do remind them that there is the survival paragraph of the contract. So they are still protected in the contract if there were repairs that weren't completely finished or anything that wasn't completely done. It's not ideal. Obviously, I'm not saying overlook things, but just, if they're nervous that a virtual tour may not get everything that they want, they still are protected from the contract standpoint.
Great. Any other questions? What else? Anything else that we want to mention? Now's the time.
Are we talking about Greg Flanagan? Are we talking about anything about mortgages or anything that was passed in the bill last night? You want to talk about that? You want to do that in a separate training? Mortgage relief.
I don't know much about it. If you want to mention it, go ahead.
No, I don't. No, let's just keep going. We'll figure it out later on.
Yeah,
okay.
We'll do an update on that.
Yeah, we'll get more information on that. Unfortunately, I don't know a ton about it yet. I've been paying attention more to this, but 100% we'll get some more information on that. Thanks, Greg, for bringing that to my attention. Awesome. So I want to give some perspective. I apologize for my chicken scratch all over this thing. It's a picture out of the Coaching Skills Camp book. And I really just want to kind of have a conversation about it, because the very first tactic in Shift, and you've heard us talk so much about Shift, right? And there's a reason for doing that, because Shift, if you don't have a copy of it, go get a copy of it. Looks like this. You can also get a PDF for free. If you need one, text me, call me. You can also grab a copy from the office. Well, you can't go to the office. Never mind. Yet you can get a copy. But the number one thing.
$5.
Yeah, for $5. Oh yeah, on Keller Inc. I'm sorry. Get real, get right, mindset in action. Right, and that's the number one thing. This is a scary time. Let's just call a spade, right? This is a scary time. We understand that one of the initial reactions to most things is fear. Diana Kokoska, who is the individual responsible for writing Coaching Skills Camp, it's no longer offered. They kind of changed the class. However, for those that have taken it in the past, please feel free to speak up. But one of the things that they put up on the screen and in the books is this graphic of kind of the life cycle of what goes on in our minds and in our lives, really, when something happens, right? Let's just take, for example, COVID-19, right? Something happens. You have a reaction. Most of the time in this particular situation, it's been fear, right? And when when that happens, we have a judgment around it, right? Totally makes sense. And then after we have that judgment, we make up a story for ourselves based on what happened, our reaction, and the judgment we have. And that's usually created by conversations we've had, by maybe questions and insights we've gained, by choices that we've made in the past, by feedback we've received. By feedback we've received, right? And then we make a decision. And the 4 pieces at the bottom are, in my opinion, the 4 most important pieces to this puzzle. Because you can pause, you can pivot, you can pull the plug, or you can power up, right? And based on the judgment and reaction you have to something happening, you're going to do one of those 4 things. And when you do one of those 4 things, you're going to gather evidence. Has anybody heard Misery Loves Company? Right? That's gathering evidence. You're gathering evidence to get people on your side of your particular story that you're telling yourself so that you can understand that you're right. And what happens in the future? Well, you've predicted your future. We know that our choices are responsible for where we are in the future, right? So I wrote down for COVID-19. COVID-19 happens, scary stuff. Our reaction is going to be fear. The judgment that we could have around it is, boy, this is scary, or this is annoying, or now what? What do I do? I'm confused, right? What about my family? There's a lot of judgments that we can have around it. So we make up a story, right? And maybe the story that we made up is the people aren't handling this right. We should, real estate should be deemed essential, or whatever it is, right? We're gonna start to make up a story based on things that have happened in the past, and then we're gonna go and talk to all of our friends and get them on our side, and we're gonna gather evidence, and by doing that, we're going to predict our future, right? And here's the key: based on the stories that we're telling ourselves, we are then going to predict a positive or a negative future for ourselves, right? If we go and we say, holy smokes, this has really disrupted our lives, that's a true statement, by the way. It really is. Yet we can look at that legislation that just came out from CTAR and say, okay, this is it. This is what happened. Now, how do I continue to bring value? What questions are we asking ourselves, right? What's the story that we're telling, and how is it impacting my future? How do I keep on bringing value to my clients? What do I have to do so that I can adapt? Because that's the only way to survive in business. What do I have to do to adapt so that I can still maybe virtually conduct business and minimize disruption? And then what's that story look like? And what am I choosing? Am I choosing to put my head in the sand like an ostrich? That's okay, by the way, if that's what you want to do. Am I choosing to pivot and change and adapt? Am I going to quit? Am I going to pull the plug? Or am I going to put my foot on the skinny pedal and get things rocking and rolling? It just is a different direction than the particular direction I was originally going. And then what are the conversations that I'm putting myself in? And where am I gathering evidence from, right? What am I doing? Who am I then putting myself around? And what is the future that I'm predicting? I'm a huge advocate. A lot of you know this. I'm a huge advocate of positive mindset. And I'm not necessarily the picture child for positive mindset all the time, because I'm human. I'm just as scared as everybody else. Let's just call a spade a spade. I really loved that saying, by the way. Wait. Spade a spade. And I can control my second thought, right? We can control our second thought. And that second thought is, okay, is what it is. Now what? I do not want a negative future for our people, right? I do not want people to be disrupted and not be able to pay their mortgage or provide for their families. So what do we have to do as a business after this happens so that we can minimize disruption and get the same result, which is that vision that we had up on the board, creating a collaborative environment built on productivity so that people could build a legacy worth leaving for themselves? What do we have to do? Well, we have to adapt and push everything online. Great. Way to go, Tiffany, Kristen, Adrian, Joseph, ALC, right? And then what do we have to do? Well, we have to talk about different ways to have conversations. Great. Way to go, ALC. Throw up daily Zooms, right? So we have to adapt. What are our ahas in that? And what are our ahas as we look at this? And I'm passionate about this. What are our ahas about when we look at this particular diagram? What do we see?
You have to keep moving forward. And your direction, at least my direction, can change every minute, but it's still going forward.
Absolutely.
You either move forward or you die. And it's just that simple.
Yeah, I agree. Thanks.
Even when you have a bad day.
Yes, and it's okay to have, I used to have on my wall, it said, am I expanding or contracting today? Guess what? There were days that I was contracting. That's okay. What did I do? I go home, right? Yet then the next day, I better wake up and I better expand because we have a choice. Because you're right, B, you're 100% right.
One of my favorite kind of quotes and sayings is that the only thing constant in life is change. And this is just the newest change that we're all being faced with. And you have to adapt. And that's not always something that is a welcome adaptation. But those of us who can adapt and adapt quickly will come out on top and will be better when the new normal arrives.
I agree. I couldn't agree more. It's the only constant in life is change. And our ability to understand that and our ability to put one foot in front of the other and continue to push forward. Some of you have heard this story before, but one of the past CEOs, his name was Chris Heller, and he made a comment. He came into a class that I was a part of, and it was right around the election time. And he said, what's the impact of this election going to be on real estate? People were really concerned about it at that time. And he said, you know what? I got to be totally honest with you. I've been in this industry for a lot of years. And there's just one thing that I realized is always going to happen, and that's change. And the only way that I can survive is to be able to adapt. I have to adapt. Right now, we are in uncharted territory. And it is the coolest thing. Guess what's never going to go away? Zoom. Zoom and virtual appointments will never go away now. Right? I listened to something, I think it was in 2008 or a few years back. The amount of individuals working remotely was 5%. The entire world was just pushed and forced to work from home in the last 2 weeks. That is unbelievable. And it was just a few years back that only 5% of people were actually working remote, right? Talk about adapting. Our ability to adapt is the only thing that's going to, and sorry to be so candid and frank here, but is the only thing that's going to keep us alive. It's the only thing that's going to keep us afloat from the standpoint of business as we go through a shift, right? We have to be able to adapt. And by changing our thought process around when things happen and changing the reaction that we have and the story that we tell ourselves is the easiest and fastest way to make sure that we predict the future that we want. What else? And I made him silent. Bada bing, bada boom.
Because you said
Vince, I was just going to say that you said that was candid and frank. And while that's true, I don't think it's necessarily anything new. I mean, society as a whole has always had to adapt. Every year, every season, you have to change and adapt. And this is no different. This is just the new version of adaptation.
Absolutely. 100%. I agree. We have to learn from the past and plan for the future and live in the present. And the only way that we do that is adapt. So does anybody have anything else they want to add? Feel free. This is the time. I got 7 more minutes. Awesome. So the last thing, we just went through ahas and needs. And I'm going to end, hold on, so I can see everybody. Does anybody need anything from us right now? No? Everybody is doing well? Stella?
I just need y'all to keep all this positivity coming my way because my house is like dragging me down.
Yeah.
And all this positivity coming out from KW is really helping me a lot. So just, you know, my mental health depends on y'all. Just saying.
I love it. And that's and
No
I think-
pressure. No, just
mine too, by the way.
just call me every day.
It's fine. It's fine. I just
By the
bought an
way-
above ground pool to put in my backyard. I've never been so grateful I don't have an HOA. Make
By
these
the
people leave me
way,
alone.
thumbs up to Stella and sharing her interview that we posted on Facebook. If you haven't seen it, it's awesome.
That's awesome.
And you have a face for video, Stella. It's a great video. Look at this radio prep.
That was fun though. I encourage anybody that Joseph reaches out to do it, to do it because it does help you realize. I say to Adrienne all the time, I'm not doing anything. And she's like, these are the 42 things you've done that you've just mentioned to me. And that did help me realize I am moving forward. I'm not just treading water.
I love that. Yeah. And I love what you said about the positivity. Again, I believe in that so deeply, right? If you need positivity, call me, 609-374-7865. Call me. Call one of the people call our leadership. Call a friend in the office, right? Dive into people because everybody is isolated. And isolation does not do good from a positive standpoint. Joseph, you call me? Oh, gee.
Send a call. It was a very strong command. I was like,
come on, call me. Thank you.
You know,
And
it's funny, yesterday when I hit that wall and I got in the car and I took a drive, I went right to the office. Don't know why. There was nothing there I needed. And I did happen to find a bottle of Prosecco in the fridge. And I did leave a note and I did get the bottle because I figured, damn, I don't have to go into a store now. So I grabbed that bottle and Trad had a bottle of wine. I grabbed that too. And I said, okay, this is good. But I thought it was interesting that in my mind, that's where I wanted to go.
yes,
You know, just catch my breath
I
at
love
the
it.
office. What
That
the hell?
means a lot. It means a lot to me, to the leadership. I said to Tiffany one time, I said, you know how we can define success as an office and as a market center, right? As a brokerage, we can define success based on when people start coming to the office because they're having a bad day. How cool is that? My day stinks. I'm going to go to work. What the heck? That's crazy.
There's nobody there.
Right. And that's what I'm talking about. So I love it. I love all of you. Again, I mean what I say when I say, if you need anything, call me, please. My number is all over the place. Call me, text me, reach out. I know that I could say the same for the leadership team. In this time of craziness, in this time of uncertainty, we have to lean on each other, right? Because this too will pass. The future is really bright for each and every one of you as long as you choose to make it that way. So change the way that you look at things, change the stories that you're telling yourself, and go be the person that you want to be, and go build the business that you intend and want to build. And I believe in you. I know everybody on this call believes in each other. So that's all I have. And if anybody needs anything, B, you're giving me the timeout. Do you need something?
One more thing. I want to shout out to Stella. I don't know who she knows that has 70 dozen carts of eggs, but she grabbed that by the horn and rode that bull and took care of that guy's a local egg vendor and got everybody buying eggs. And that was very cool, Stella.
Hey, listen, that guy's probably going to be doing it again next week. And you know what? He's so grateful because he said he's going to be able to stay solvent one more week. So you guys, if you're at all interested in buying them, they're really good. And you're helping a local business out.
Well, yeah, but you're in Charleston now. I mean, can we do that?
It's considered a grocery item. So yes, I asked him.
Perfect.
I love it. And Flanagan just said, he said, stop stuffing you down, let out the potential in you. I think I lost the chat, but Mr. Positive over here. I love it. So go get it. I appreciate everybody. It's 12:59. Oh, Flan, do you have something?
You guys have to read what Lynn just wrote in the chat.
Flanagan, you're not. How do I unmute him? Tiffany.
My brother's restaurant in Mount Pleasant is doing wine pickup, curbside pickup. Gray's restaurant in Mount Pleasant in the Whole Food Shopping Center. I bought Malbec a couple days ago for like $10. So just for
the
that.
next one is doing Froze to go.
Froze. Oh, no way. All right, Mr. Positive, you're unmuted.
1 o'clock, Finance Committee. See you there. Bye.
1 o'clock, Finance Committee.
It's actually in this channel, so just stay on.
Hey, yeah? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, just stay on.
Get a couple-
Thank you all. You all have awesome potential. Go get it.
Toodaloo.
Toodaloo.